14 under. And he's got a couple of his players here with us, and he's got all his hardware on from their 11th place finish in AAU Division II Nationals in Orlando. It was a fantastic summer for Team Memphis Love. They went 54-3 on the summer, and each of their 3 losses was to a team that was either ranked in the top 10 at that time or ended up in the top 10 in the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very, very, very special year for Team Memphis Love. So we got Coach Hearns, we got one of his starters, one of his key reserves. We got his son and his wife and his nephew. So we got a nice packed house here in the studio, and we'll get a chance to talk to them off and on. And we got a few news items to catch everybody up on as well. So we're going to have fun with today's issue of Inside Preps, and we're glad to have you along for the ride. And as always, we always like to shout out the great programming that we have here on the station. Right before us, one of the true legends of Memphis area athletics, Coach Verdi Sales and his co-host John Lawson, from 11 to 1, the Sports Bar and Grill. And it was great to get a chance to introduce Coach Sales to some of the younger generation of basketball players. Truly, he has so much knowledge about basketball and about life to give, so it's great to give them that introduction. It all kicks off with Memphis in the morning at 7 o'clock. Nice, bright and early for your drive to work. 8:30 is Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. And then from 10 to 11, Game Over Sports with Vashti and Sharona. And then later in the afternoon, we pick back up with the local programming from 5 to 7. Sports Call with Bill and Jeff. That's Bill Moore and Jeff Weinberger. And then we wrap it all up from 7 to 9 with Tell It Like It Is, Jonathan C. Smith. And on Fridays, we have a Man Cave with Isaac Simpson from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So we've got great local programming. I'm just trying to keep everything going for my hour from 1 to 2. And we hope you stay tuned in to the sports giant of the Mid-South that is right here, 730 Yahoo Sports Radio. All right, so we're going to hit a couple of news items, and then we're going to start talking to some of the members of Team Memphis. But one very sad piece of news that we would like to pass along, Dr. J.L. Perry, a longtime head coach here in the Memphis area. He spent his most notable years at Southside High School, and most recently was the director of the MIAA, the Memphis Interscholastic Athletic Association, which of course became the SCIAA, the Shelby County Interscholastic Athletic Association. Dr. J.L. Perry has passed away. We just saw that. Desmond Merriweather, a good friend of the show, we had him on the show twice a couple weeks ago with his national champions, the 15 under team Penny Group, has posted that Dr. J.L. Perry has passed on. And it's truly a sad moment when a piece of Memphis history passes on. That's a man I had on my list for someone to get on this show. And sometimes you make decisions, and unfortunately those decisions, the impact is maybe you don't get around to something you would like to because, well, you didn't have time, he didn't have time, whatever the case is. Very sad I'll never be able to have him on the show. So please, anyone who does know Dr. Perry, reach out to his family and extend your condolences. And I'm sure within the coming days, more arrangements will be announced as to when and where things like body viewing and the actual services will be. But once again, Dr. J.L. Perry, who was the director of the SCIAA, we're getting news on Facebook, has just passed away. So unfortunately, that's some news to pass on. But in much better news, the Memphis Magic Elite 17 under team, coached by Eric Cowboy Robinson, won the Super 64 Gold Flight over the weekend in Las Vegas. Producer Josh, if you'll cue up a round of applause for that for us, please. Memphis Magic Elite champions of the gold flight at the prestigious Las Vegas Super 64. Congratulations go out to Coach Robinson. That's a team that included Malik Hicks, who goes to Jackson Southside, Chris McNeil, also Jackson Southside, and Tevrick Kane from Craigmont, a name that I'm going to continue mentioning. And Tevrick Kane, I'm being reminded, is an alumnus of Team Memphis Love, played for Memphis Love for 2 years. So congratulations go out to the Memphis Magic Elite on that outstanding performance out in Las Vegas. Also out in Las Vegas, M33M Let It Fly. They finished in the Elite 8, also at the Super 64. This is the team led by Skull of Bezier, the big Haitian from ECS, Mark French, little point guard from Briarcrest, Justin Wertner, the forward from St. George's, and who else? One more from Briarcrest, Will Rubis, forward from Briarcrest, among others. So congratulations on making it to the Elite 8, where they lost to a very, very fine Mac Irvin EYBL team in the Elite 8 in a game that went back and forth. They lost by 5, but it was definitely a basketball game that M33M Let It Fly could have won. So congratulations go out to M33M on that fine performance. Team Penny is finished for the year. So the national champions at 15 under, the number 11 in the nation at 14 under, and the runner-up in a heartbreaking loss in the 17 under that a lot of us watched live. All 3 of those teams were not in action this past week, and really everybody is pretty much finished now. There are the remaining AAU Nationals in Louisville that are being contested as we speak, but all the live evaluation periods for July are now over. College coaches, Division I, Division II college coaches cannot come back out, so there may be some BL action and things like that, but your really serious action is pretty much over for the summer, so no one from Team Penny was in action. But one final update, Team Thad finished a 16-1 July with their 17 under program, going 7-0 and winning the Gulf Coast Beach Challenge in Panama City, Florida. So congratulations go out to Team Thad 17 under. Their record for the year, 42-8. I'll have to confirm if that's accurate, 100% accurate or not, but that's going to be pretty close. And the Gerald Vick continued having a fantastic summer, and he's about to get an ACC offer. Can't divulge the school right now, but that just lets you know how strong a summer the Gerald Vick has had. Cincinnati and Arkansas offered him 2 weeks ago. He's about to get his ACC offer, but Ole Miss long ago offered him. So this is a young man who's going to have a high Division I scholarship here very shortly. Also having a fantastic event in the Gulf Coast Beach Challenge, OG Anunnaki from Jefferson City, Missouri, Naba Eccles from Mitchell High School, who continues to perform well and continues to garner more and more interest, and do everything point guard Jalen Fisher from Bolton High School. Nick Marshall, the big man in the post, played through an injured finger. He injured his finger at the Under Armour Finals the week before, didn't perform as well as he would. But he has in recent weeks picked up offers from UConn, Florida, and Indiana. So he too has pretty much guaranteed that a high Division I scholarship is in his future. So hats off to everyone in the Memphis area. Also on the girls' side, I want to say hats off to Memphis Select, who finished 6th place in their last event. And so tomorrow I should have a few more details to give you on that as well. And any other teams that were in action, whether it be in Las Vegas or anywhere else over the last week or so, feel free to reach out, send me a text message, send me a message on Twitter, send me a message on Facebook, or if you want to call in at 901-452-3094 and shout out your favorite summer program. Don't want to leave anybody out if at all possible. All right, so now we get to the fun part of the show, for me anyway, and this is our opportunity to talk to some of the principals from Team Memphis Love 54-3 on the summer. I don't think any competitor can have a period where they win 54 out of 57 games and not feel pretty doggone good about it. It was a long summer. That's more games than any of these young men have ever probably played in a concentrated period of time ever before. But you cannot say that it was not successful. So first of all, just want to say congratulations for a really, really successful summer, and can't wait to see what the Memphis Love program does next year. So we'll start with Coach Mark Hearns. Coach Hearns, once again, just want to extend you a personal congratulations, and you guys have got to be feeling pretty good right about now.
First of all, I want to thank you, Leroy, for having us here in the studio. Really, it's a blessing to be able to be in your presence and to be able to have this opportunity. I'd like to thank all the Memphis fans, the Memphis Love supporters out there as well.
And you guys definitely have some very, very vocal supporters, very loyal fan following. Your team parents do a great job of repping the organization. Anytime you guys are in action, there's going to be plenty of people who know about it, and that's got to make you feel good that you're doing the right thing with your program.
Yes, sir, it definitely does. It's an opportunity to touch some men's lives, young men's lives in a positive way, and to show them that basketball can be an outlet for something even greater in life.
And I think that's such a powerful lesson to reinforce, because I believe the reason your organization sometimes gets overlooked is, you know, you've got guys who are truly at risk. You know, people talk about at risk, and we've talked about it on the show. What does that mean? Well, that means we've got kids who don't know where the next meal is coming from, don't know if the light's going to be on when they go home, sometimes don't even know where they're going to be when they go home. And that's usually a recipe for a young man who gets involved in criminal activity, because he learns, I got to get by any means necessary, and usually what he starts learning is illegal means. You know, something else I talked about on the show, and I talked about with these guys before we came on air, that expression, oh yeah, I'm out here hustling. When I was a kid, it was okay to say that, because it just meant you were cutting yards, you were blowing leaves, you were picking up cans and turning them in for change. That's what hustling meant then. But somewhere in the last 20, 30 years, it has come to mean you're engaged in illegal activities for money. So these young men that you are ministering to, that you're getting in the gym and taking around the country to play, they are in danger of going down that path, and I'm just so impressed and so proud that you've been able to help convince them not to do that.
It's just a blessing from God. I definitely have a strong supporting cast with my coaches, with my wife, you know, my wife Crystal, as well as Coach Eric Sanders, as well as Coach Bob Price and Coach Darren Wilkes. With us adults, we were able to do the positive things to get these kids seen as far as basketball wise, and mentor them to have positive pieces to go forward in life as far as making decisions to better themselves and their families.
And you get a chance to do something you love, which is play basketball. So where I come from, that's called a win-win. And
definitely.
Obviously, these guys are starting to buy into that too.
Definitely. Now, I just want to let everybody know, not all my kids are in this situation, but we do have some, and you would mixing both together, you know, with some parents and some double parent homes, with 2-parent homes. It's a win-win. You get to see what the other side of life is about, as well as they able to see that everything ain't also, you know, with 2-parent homes. There's some people that have one single-parent home and no parents at the house, and be able to survive in this world, because that's what the world is about, is to make up of differences. And we come together, and that's what Memphis Love is about.
So 54-3, and it all came to a head at AAU Nationals in Orlando. You finished 11th place in the country in Division II. What was that like on the drive home from Orlando?
Man, it was exhausting. We had a 15 passenger van, and we had 12 people on the bus, and we had our trophy and had the covers and our zuzus and wham whams, as we would say. And we was eating and just tired. It wasn't too much radio being played. We played games on the way there to stay woke, but it was just relaxing, just ecstatic. It hadn't hit us till we got back and we touched Memphis soil, and we actually looked at that trophy and seen what we did with this little team from out of Berean Missionary Baptist Church gym. Went all the way to Florida and came home with something to show for their hard work and effort in the gym.
And do you know roughly how many teams were in Division II? I think it was over 200, wasn't it?
No, it was about 120.
120.
120. Okay. So AAU gives 14 places.
Right.
So over 100 teams came home with nothing. They traveled that far distance, played in the same arena, and came home with nothing.
So no question, it was a tremendous accomplishment, and you've had a little more than a week now to digest. Has it begun to sink in to you yet?
Yes, I'm still getting calls, congratulatory calls from coaches, from different people throughout the city, and Facebooking and tweeting and just telephone calls, letting them know they're proud of us, and we came a long way, and keep up the hard work and keep up the ministry. And my pastor just celebrated at Berean Missionary Baptist Church. They honored us at the youth service yesterday with the ministry and let them know how far that the kids have came. They had seen them from me tugging in 8 to 10 boys in the church every Sunday to winning 11th place in the national, rooting us on to Orlando play-by-play on Facebook. So it's definitely a great journey that we came for this summer.
And I would imagine that the people at the church had to have been really, really proud of you, especially honoring you at youth services. That had to be an extremely humbling experience.
Definitely. That's what I do it for. I do something positive by the grace of God. And, basketball helped save my life, like my testimony is, and it kept me out of the streets. And for me to turn around 20 years later to be able to do what I'm doing now is definitely a blessing. And for the church to embrace us and show that it is something that is worthwhile in doing. And the way that Pastor Parker and the rest of the Berean Knights just honored us yesterday, it just was an overwhelming, humbling experience for me and the boys, and we'll never forget it.
So now what's next for Memphis Love? 14 under. I mean, my goodness, you came pretty close to the ultimate. There's only 10 teams between you and the championship out of 120. So what's next?
Well, I looked at film. Of course, I had to digest. I looked at film, the tournament film. I record every game. I looked at film. We was 2 shots from being on the other side where we're in the Elite 8. And those 2 shots kind of changed the whole schematics of the tournament. And I think I'm back in the lab. We're back. We're working. We're starting our workout training August 9th back at Berean. Open to all future the Memphis Love wannabes. That's interested in just getting a kid better. August 9th at 11 o'clock at Berean Missionary Baptist Church. We back doing our drills and skills and mentoring, and we just starting back up. Just start from scratch, and we're going 15 and under next year. And hopefully we'll be able to compete in the D1 status with a couple of additions and just getting better.
Now, the goal always is to take a group and keep them together and then go from one age group up to the next until you get to 17 under. But of course, reality being what it is, there are larger programs with more lavish travel plans, better shoe deals, etc., and they're likely to come knocking on the door. Is that something you guys fear at Memphis Love, or you just understand that's part of it and you keep going?
That's part of the game that the Memphis basketball and basketball everywhere. That's part of it, and we're aware of it. We just we're doing it for the right reason. I'm not in it for the accolades. I'm not in it to win Coach of the Year or anything like that. I'm just in it to try to help some young men get to a better spot for them and their families in their future. So trying to get them to college and finish college, that's our motto. You know, I want to try to get you to be able to finish college so you can be able to be a productive citizen in this world. And if by all means, if a bigger program interested in you, then I think that I did my job, because I want you to be bigger and better. But Memphis Love is definitely getting bigger and better. We're going to the big tournaments next year, so y'all will be seeing us on the Real Deal on the Rock. You'll see us in the Super 60 in New Orleans, and we're planning on doing that. That's why we start now with our fundraising and things of that nature. So we're planning on making it bigger and better, because we definitely have a talented group and we want to expand.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me, and you know I will continue to be watching Memphis Love. My adopted summer travel program really cannot be any prouder of looking for bigger and better things next year and beyond.
Definitely, most definitely. I just can't say enough about the ones that's not in attendance. I was excited. I wanted to send some shots out to the kids that couldn't make it because of their out of time. First, I acquired a kid by the name of Dante Smalls from Kentucky. Old lanky 6'4", skinny kid that came to Memphis Love by just being at the right place at the right time with his father, working with Coach Sanders, and he said, my son gonna be here for the summer and he can play a little bit. And he got in here and was a vital part of my program. I just want to send a shout out. He back in Kentucky listening, so we ain't forgot about you, Smalls. We're looking for you to do bigger and better things next year. Also, Big B, Braylon Brown. That's my enforcer. He's going to Cordova as well. He's a football guy. He's 6'4". He started me at 260. I got him down to 228. So when he was in Florida, he had 228. Lost all that weight. He's trimming up and is becoming pure muscle. So he's definitely a kid that you got to watch out for. He's a football player though. He's a tight end and defensive end. Braylon Brown. I also have Cade Wilkes. We call him Mo Magic. That's my point guard. He ended up being my star point guard. That's Coach Wilkes' son. He's, man, when I say talented, 6'3", lanky kid that's getting a lot taller, I think he's going to probably end up 6'6", 6'7", and can handle the rock, can pass. He has great court vision. Man, he just made everything a little easier when you're on the floor. You see in 1 hour games on YouTube, you'll see how the thing this kid sees is, and me being a point guard, I couldn't imagine with him being 6'7", what it's going to be like a couple of years from now. As well as, you know, Ray Price. He's a sought-after kid, Bob Price's son, from the home school as well. This kid can shoot the peel off of it, and I mean the peel off of it. Great leader, court. He's not a vocal player, but he definitely shows with his leadership. He couldn't make it as well. They had training that they was doing, but when I say he was a glue guy, can rebound, shoot, pass, Ray Price, definitely a step towards our program that enhance our program. And I can't forget about Nate. We call him Thunder Nate and Rooney. He's all the way in Minnesota, back in Minnesota now. He's by way of Orlando, Florida, that he moved with. He's a homeschool kid. He was my big guy, my undersized, power forward, 6'4", real strong football guy as well, track. And I told him that the only thing he ain't doing, he can't beat me in the game of dominoes yet. But he's definitely a competitor. When you say competition, this kid, he definitely opens to competition. He's a smart kid, already took the ACT. I think he got a passing score, I think 19 on his ACT test. He just was a building block for our program, and the Rooney's definitely helped us, and I can't wait to see him next year, as well as Khalil Hodges. I got him at the end of the season as well. We call him K-Mac. Look, Khalil, out of the Whitehaven area, he was just the little point guard that I told you I was looking for, that I needed when I talked to you. That was fast on the ball, good on-ball defender, can make the right passes. He's in Mississippi now with his father, and I just appreciate his dad, you know, lending them for me for the last 3 or 4 tournaments, and he really helped the team get to where we at. And I can't forget about the Pratts. Everybody in Memphis know about them Soulsville twins. They lanky, they long, they are 6'2", and they getting taller and taller every time. Every time you see them, it look like they done grown a little bit. The Pratts, they came along at the end of the season as well. They supposed to be on their way, but they some smart kids. When I say they help the programs as far as the kid that knows their books and just can get in. I definitely appreciate the Pratt family that came in and was an instrumental part of the family. They just did it all from rebounding to scoring to defensive, just to being a humble teammate. They didn't come in to try to do anything but just try to fit in as possible, and that's what they did to the program. And we was able to finish and left in the country. Those are the people that's not here, in the studio. Not here. Now, we got in the studio. I think
we'll get back to them in just a minute.
Okay. And I just wanted to send a shout out to the ones not in the studio. And again, big ups to Coach Eric Shane Sanders. Everybody knows Sugar Shane. I know he listening. Coach Sanders, he already said that next year is our summer. Next summer is our summer, along with Bob Price and Darren Wilkes. We're going to be something to reckon with at the Super 60, the Coach T Tech Classic, and the little Real Deal on the Rock. We're going to be there. So.
All right, so we're looking forward to next summer. And on that note, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to talk to the guys who are here in the studio. And we're going to continue our discussion with Team Memphis Love, 11th in the country in Division II AAU Nationals in Orlando. So, folks, don't you dare go anywhere. We got a lot more to get to here in the last half hour of Inside Preps with Leroy Watson here on the Sports Giant of the Mid-South, 7:30 a.m. Yahoo Sports Radio. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to Inside Preps with Leroy Watson. And my special guest, who finished 11th in the country in AAU Division II at the Nationals recently concluded in Orlando, Florida, members of Team Memphis Love 14 under. And we've been talking with Coach Hearns, who founded and runs the program. He's the head coach of the 14 under team. He shouted out his assistant coaches. He shouted out everyone who's not here. But folks, we've got a couple of people who are here, and we want to introduce you to them and get an opportunity to speak with them. We've got Roderick Brown and Keyshawn Sutton. So congratulations, you fellas, on all your success this summer, and thanks for joining us here in the studio. And who else? Oh, okay, and we've also got Mark Hearns Jr. here as well. Thank you for pointing out that oversight, everybody. So we're going to talk to these three guys over the next few minutes. All right, so I do believe that Keyshawn nominated Roderick to be the first one I talked to. So, Roderick, thanks for being in the studio here with us. Just give us your general impressions of how the summer went for yourself personally and for your team as a whole.
It went great. I had fun. It was tough. I wish you didn't got an end.
Well, unfortunately, all good things come to an end, unfortunately. But have you ever played that many games in such a short period of time before?
No, I really haven't. It was tired. I mean, it was exhausting. I mean, like every time we had a tournament, we'll play one day and we win, another one coming up. But we never had a tournament, no breaks.
Right. Well, you had the month of June. Well, no, wait, I forgot though. During June, you had Summer League. Didn't you guys play some Summer League ball? I think I saw you. You didn't play any Summer League ball?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
There we go, yeah. So you didn't even get the month of June off, did you? But I know the fact that it's something that you love, because clearly you love basketball. I know that made it a little bit easier for you. Here, let's wait, hang on. There we go, get that mic back out.
You gotta talk to the mic.
All right, so it was a grueling summer, but I'm sure all the hardware, such as 11th place at the Nationals, and how many events did you guys win? On my count, you won 4 events. Oh, okay, well, that's right, y'all played a bunch of events. I didn't even know. Y'all won 10 events, I'm being told. That kind of success makes all the travel and not getting much rest a whole lot easier. Would you agree with that, Roger?
Yes, sir.
Because that's why you're a competitor. You want to win. Otherwise, there's no reason to play the game, I would guess. Oh, yes. And among other things, you were Division II state champions at AAU. And I know that had to be pretty difficult. You had to go through a lot of teams. Y'all had to go through a couple of Memphis teams, in fact, in order to win that. You had to beat the Bulls twice, did you not? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like you and the Bulls, y'all kind of got a little bit of a rivalry going. Is that accurate, Roderick?
Yes, sir, that's right.
All right, talk about that rivalry for us a little bit.
I mean, overall, they're a good competitive team. They always bring the hustle. They always give us a challenge. To me, I love playing basketball. It's fun playing against them. Every time we play, it be noisy. It be an intense game.
Yep. Now, have they beaten you yet?
No, no sir.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm sure y'all remind them of that when y'all see them in the neighborhood, do you not?
Yeah.
So if they see you again, they're probably going to play even a little bit harder. But that's what basketball is all about. That's what it's all about. So, Roderick, you're about 6'4", maybe almost 6'5". The tendency is to say, you know, given your age groups, that you're a post player. When I saw you, I didn't see a post player. I saw a basketball player who can also play in the post. What are your thoughts on what your position is going to be as you move off to high school?
Well, I'm pretty good in the post. I'll develop my game outside. I can dribble the ball. I see myself going to high school as a post player, as being the 4.
Okay.
I can also play the 3. I'm a pretty good wing player. I gotta get better with my court vision. I'm still developing my shot, my outside shot. I can shoot the mid range. And my defense.
And speaking of which, I was looking at some of the stats Coach Mark had. You averaged over 4 steals per game in your last event. And he tells me he puts you out front of the 1-3-1. And, I mean, 4.1 steals per game, 20.7 points, 8.1 rebounds. Those are some extremely impressive numbers. On the high school level, do you see yourself as a person who continued being able to get a lot of steals, even on the high school level?
Yes, sir. I see myself doing it. I'm real active. I'm athletic. I can move. I'm pretty fast. I'm still working on my footwork to keep up with the man. I'm gonna have to do a better job playing man. I'm good at playing zones, but high school majority don't be playing man.
That's right. Well, I'm not going to put you on the spot asking you what school you think you're going to be going to, because you told me.
I'm positive I'll be going to Cordova.
Oh, you're positive. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll tell you, you'll be playing for the coach who is the most overlooked coach in the city, Coach Terrence Scales, great personal friend. He's had a difficult year this year, but in spite of that, he continues to work hard with his program. And I think the Cordova Wolves have a very good shot at really surprising some people at District 14 AAA next year. And I know he has told me that he thinks you are going to be, these are his words, not mine, a total beast at the high school level. So I cannot wait to see how that develops. All right, so now we're going to move on over to your left, one spot, and we're going to talk to Keyshawn Sutton. Keyshawn has a very interesting nickname. They call him Hot Sauce. Now, Keyshawn, tell me where that name comes from.
And one basketball.
There we go. Anybody who's watched the And One mixtape series knows about Hot Sauce. I can't remember his name, his real name. But at any rate, that's one of the most outstanding handlers of the basketball you will ever see. The things that Hot Sauce can do with the basketball are just incredible. So I guess that tells me that you want to be a good ball handler. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so what did you see as your role on the team for Memphis Love this year? We know Roderick was the leading scorer, right? The leading scorer, one of the better rebounders. You know, Cade ended up being the starting point guard. What did you feel like your role was on this team? Get that mic right in close and speak up now.
I was a great team player. I pick my teammates when they're down. I get a game. I'm like Lance Stephen. I can defend the head. I'm a lockdown defender.
Okay.
And handle the rock, see the floor, look better. And then when in time we were down in the game, I picked the head up and we like I bring the team back together, make sure the chemistry tight, like try to control coaches and team, make sure that we all on the same path.
And I think people overlook how important that is sometimes on a team, because when you're out there in the heat of battle and things are not going well, it's very easy just to let it fall off the cliff. And every team needs that guy who's like, okay, come on, we're all right. We need to do this, we need to do that. Not everybody can average 20 points a game. This is just not going to happen. Not everybody's going to get 10 boards a game. Not everybody's going to get 6 assists per game. We all have roles on the team, and embracing that role is very, very important. So you told me you expect to go to Cordova this fall as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, Coach Scales was a guard too. What people don't know is he set some three-point shooting records. So I expect you to really be able to blossom under Coach Scales over the next few years. I think you're going to enjoy him. He's challenging, but he's going to get you really well prepared, and I can't wait to see how your game grows over the next couple of years.
Yes, sir.
All right, now to your left, we can't leave out the coach's side. We've got Mark Hearns Jr., and we're going to talk to him here for a minute. How you doing today, Mark?
I'm doing fine.
All right, good. You look like you're nervous.
No.
You're not. You just look that way.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you look like you're nervous, but okay. If you say you're not, I take your word for that. All right, so you've been around the program. You've gotten an opportunity to watch this team grow and to develop. How does it make you feel, knowing that, hey, this is my dad's dream, my dad's vision, and we're making that dream come true?
I feel awesome. I mean, we had our ups and downs, but still, I know I'm my role in this team, so I can't be mad if other people start talking about me if I don't get more playing time or not.
Okay, make sure you get that. Talk right into the mic for us then. All right, so I guess that, what I'm hearing is truly a coach's son who understands that everybody's got roles.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, do you think you'd like to go into coaching someday?
I mean, yes, sir. If I had a chance to get the job, of course I'll take it because I know basketball a lot and I've been around my dad for a long time.
Okay, all right. Yeah, could you see yourself being assistant coach of your dad someday?
Yes, sir.
You can say no if you want to now. You ain't got to say yes just because he's here. I mean, act like he's not even here, just between us.
If he's still coaching, I don't believe he's still coaching.
So you think he's got a shelf life on his coaching career?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they're going to be turning the mantle over to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Hey, I like that. I like that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Do you enjoy getting a chance to travel with the team, or is it more of a grind because you're not playing maybe as much as the other guys?
No, I'm blessed that I have the opportunity to be with some great people. I feel like family.
Okay, all right. And speaking of family, and like I mentioned earlier, you guys don't travel alone. You always have a bunch of people around supporting you. What does that feel like? I mean, I know, it feels like family is good, but is there anything that you've been through in life so far that you could even compare it to?
No, sir.
So is that special?
Yes, sir.
Even, through the ups and the downs and through all the travel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would there be anything on earth you would prefer doing?
No, sir.
And maybe I went a little deep on it. But, hey, I appreciate he actually gave us some thought. You can see the wheels turning. You can really see that. And so that's a wonderful thing. All right, so as this team continues to grow And moving forward, what kind of goals have you got, for yourself and for this team?
Probably winning the state, then Division 2 and Division 1 champs again next year.
So you want to win it all?
Yes, sir.
Hey, if you're going to dream, dream big. You set your goals high. That's exactly what you should do. Well, fellas, again, I'm really, really proud of all of y'all for all your hard work, your dedication. 57 games is an awful lot, and to win 54 of them is absolutely incredible. I just cannot wait to see what Memphis Love does next year. So, Coach Mark, you're back behind the mic. Are there plans to add additional teams to the program, or are you just going to stick with this one?
Yes, there's definitely plans for expanding the program. I got some guys we've been in contact all summer about adding another 14 and well, it's going to be 14 and under next year, and also I want to go as far as 10 and under for next year as well. I got a kid that's coming from out of town from Mississippi that's he's going to be a piece that everybody going to want him, and I'm going to build around him. And just those two, 10 and under, and another 14 and under, 15 and under is where I'm at right now with the next program.
Okay. Now, with more teams comes more bills. So let me give you your opportunity to ask for support from the community.
Okay. Well, right now, me and Coach Shane Sanders, we're doing high intensity training starting August 9th at the Berean Missionary Baptist Church. It's only $25 a kid. We're not asking for you to, I know it's a lot of other people doing training in the city. We're just asking you to give us a chance to just see what we're doing. Come in the gym, see what our plan is, and getting kids better. We're taking kids with no names, no big names in these schools, and we're getting them playing on a high level at the national level. So we can do that with those kids. We definitely can do it with another set.
Boys and
We're doing
girls.
girls and boys, and we're asking that you guys come out and just look, fill up the gym. We're trying to, and it's going back into the community. It's not like it's going to somebody's pocket or somebody's home. It's going back to the Memphis Love organization. We're a 501c3 organization. We're blessed by God under Pastor Parker as far as helping us with the facility at Berean Missionary Baptist Church, and we're just trying to get it better.
So what's that date again?
August 9th.
August 9th. High intensity training. If you want to enroll your son or daughter in the high intensity training, the fee is only $25. And you're going to get your money's worth just out of that alone.
2 hours of high intensity basketball knowledge. It's under Coach, everybody know Coach Shane Sanders, and Coach at the Y, the YMCA, the Y when they was prominent.
Right.
He's part of the staff as well, so he's definitely been Memphis background. If you don't know who he is, he's definitely a coach that definitely is going to get your kid better. And along with me and Coach Wilson, Coach Price, we're going to put in the work to get these kids better and make the organization even bigger and better, and trying to just grow it as big as God wanted to be.
And you have any sponsors that y'all want to shout out who supported you this year while y'all were traveling?
Yes, Real Ministry Print, Reverend Jameson did a big sponsorship. Murphy's Oil did a big membership, big sponsorship, as well as Krispy Kreme, KP the barber at Stepping Up Barbershop, along with Ted's. They definitely helped us out this year. Am I missing anybody, baby?
Just individual people.
And a bunch of whole individual Memphis Love supporters. They're on our website at memphislove.org. I know I don't have the website up in front of me, but memphislove.org, all the people we sponsor that sponsored us, that helped us get to where we at, we definitely appreciate you. And we hope you continue your efforts in making this program grow, because it's definitely helping the community.
So memphislove.org if you want to find out more about the team, about the organization, and if you want to have an opportunity to contribute, if you feel like this is a worthy cause, because I certainly believe it's a worthy cause. You are helping a lot of at-risk people. Maybe they're not all, and I'm glad you mentioned, hey, you got some who weren't. I didn't want to give the impression that all of the members of this organization were at risk because, like you mentioned, some come from
Prominent families.
prominent suburban two-parent families. But then you've got them mixed in with a bunch of kids who truly are at risk, who literally are being kept off the streets by this program. So go to memphislove.org. You can find out more about the organization. And if your heart moves you to make a small donation or a large donation, whatever the case may be, because they've got plans to expand to 3 teams next year on the boys' side. And how many teams do you plan on having on the girls' side?
I'm working with a girls coach now to get a girls team. I don't know the age group that he's targeting, but there's definitely some girls talent that's not being touched in the city. There's a lot of great teams that already in the city, but we definitely, I think it's a few girls that probably didn't be able to compete this summer that definitely need a fair chance.
All right, so we're probably looking at 4 teams next year, 3 on the boys' side and 1 on the girls' side. And there are expenses to this, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful to be able to bask in the glory and to congratulate, but what are we doing to help? That's a question I always like to ask myself. So if you can find it in your heart and in your finances to make a donation, it's a 501(c)(3). This money is not being thrown away. It's not going to be used frivolously. It's not going to be used to go down to Tunica or to pay somebody's light bill. This is all for the Memphis Love organization, getting ready for next year. Because hey, this year is over. This summer is over. It's already time to start looking at it.
And I just want to send a shout out. I was privileged to get a kid that knew he wasn't of age, but he said he wanted to do anything he can to help this team because he was just in awe of how these different personalities came together and wanted for one common goal, and that's to play basketball. And Elijah Rooney, he became our manager, and he really embraced that role. And I just want to send, I know little Elijah is listening, and he definitely helped this organization, especially when we was out of town. Everybody, they got their people on their staff, but it's nothing like a good manager that comes with the water, come with the medical equipment, and have the towels ready. And I just really appreciate him and appreciate his parents for having the opportunity for him to participate in the program as well.
All right, so it's a great note to end our show on. Special thanks to Elijah Rooney for all he did as manager of Team Memphis Love. So Coach Mark Hearns Jr., Keyshawn Sutton, Roderick Brown, and to Mrs. Hearns, Crystal Hearns, and wait, one more, your nephew.
PJ, yeah, that PJ, he's from Leicester area. Team Penny won't get him.
There's going to be one who gets out of Binghamton.
Yeah, I'm gonna finally get one Binghamton kid, I think.
All right, well, congratulations once again to Team Memphis Love, the adopted team right here on Inside Press with Leroy Watson. Thanks so much for coming out and for bringing the trophy and being an inspiration to all of us.
Thanks for having us, Leroy, and I just want to send Leroy, we want to present you with this Memphis Love, our shooting shirt. This
is for me?
Yes, sir. That's for you. We just want to present you. Thank you.
All right.
You said we was your adopted team, and you really took ownership and sponsorship of this team, and letting the city know, that it is some other teams other than Team Penny. They're our idols. Team Penny, Team Penny, they're our idols. But there is some still good basketball going on. I want to send a shout out to the Memphis Eagles as well. Coach Tony. Yes. Coach Tony gave us a great game in that 11th place game, and man, they have some great fans. I love the energy and the support of their team. And I just want to send a special shout out to the Memphis Eagles Elite. They had a great season as well, and I just want he's like a brother to me, and I just want to send a shout out to him as well as the Memphis Bulls, who gave us a great rivalry this summer as well. And just shout out to all the Memphis Love alumni out there, Coach Smith and his wife who helped out, and T. Kane, you say he's with Memphis Magic now, and they did well. And all shouts out to all of those people, and I just thanks for having us, Leroy.
All right, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will end the Monday edition of Inside Press with Leroy Watson. A special thanks to Team Memphis Love for all they did this summer and for being our guest. And we will meet you here tomorrow, same time, same place on the Sports Giant of the Mid-South, 7:30 a.m. Yahoo Radio for a Tuesday edition of Inside Press with Leroy Watson. Thanks for listening. Everybody have a blessed and safe afternoon.
MemphisLove.org.